Today's program is brought to you by OTCStockShark.com. For the latest and greatest OTC and Pink Sheets information, sign up for your account at OTCStockShark.com. Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.
In today's financial news, better than expected earnings from early bellwether sent U.S. stocks surging Tuesday as the market pounced on the positive reports to extend its rally to 6 straight sessions. In the wake of the Dow Jones Industrial Average best week in nearly a year, stocks have gained further ground this week. The Dow has gained close to 7% during its recent winning streak and is on track to post the best 6-day performance in 14 months. Helped by strong earnings reports, investors flooded into riskier asset small-cap stocks while the euro broke $1.27. The Dow recently was up more than 140 points, or 1.4%, and all but one of the blue-chip index's 30 components advanced. The Nasdaq climbed 1.4% to 2,230, and the S&P 500 rose 1.3% to 1,093. And investors noted the measure was rapidly approaching the 1,100 level.
In U.S. news, NASA needs a more coherent way of projecting and controlling costs, especially on its priciest missions. Congress and the Office of Management and Budget, as well as the Space Agency, need to use the same methods to calculate and track costs, the National Research Panel said. NASA asked for the report as it struggled to find a new direction after a controversial decision to dump an over-budget and behind-schedule program to revisit the moon, and as it winds down the Space Shuttle program. The report notes that NASA has modified the way it budgets programs and has asked for independent appraisals of costs and technical risks, but it is too early to tell how well these changes can help limit costs, the panel said. And NASA still does not have an overall strategy to keep its Earth and space science mission on budget. Congress currently considers the first appropriations bill estimates to be the baseline cost of any project or mission, but NASA, Congress, and the OMB should instead look at estimates that cover the life of the mission from preliminary design review through completion of operations, the report said. NASA should pay particular attention to the cost and schedule of missions that will run $500 million or more, the report states. Otherwise, when their big missions go over budget, they can threaten the entire science budget. President Barack Obama outlined his new vision for NASA in April. It scuttles predecessor George W. Bush's plan to build a base on the moon, instead looks to deeper space missions and more use of outside contractors. The U.S. Space Agency got an extra $6 billion in the latest federal budget, but a separate report from the National Research Council in May found many of NASA's research labs are old and budget cuts had jeopardized scientific research.
In today's international news, overshadowed by the continuing tension over North Korea's nuclear program, another nuclear dispute is emerging on the Korea Peninsula, this one between the United States and South Korea. South Korea, which has no oil reserves, derives 40% of its electricity from nuclear reactors and is running out of space to store the highly radioactive waste. So the South Korean government is barred from such activities under the 1974 agreement with the U.S. The plutonium that results from reprocessing spent fuel can power nuclear reactors, which South Korea insists is its only goal, but can also be used to make weapons of mass destruction, as North Korea has already done.
Hi, I'm Chef Tony, and now there's a knife so sharp you can cut a pineapple in midair. It's the Miracle Blade 3 Perfection Series. This is my all-purpose slicer, the ultimate in slicing knives. You'll also get rock and chop, ripped through ribs, plus you'll receive my fillet and boning knife. Fillet fish right down to the skin. And my chop and scoop. Chop parsley and fresh herbs in seconds. Watch, flex, and scoop right to your favorite recipe. And you get my paring knife. Curved to peel fruits and veggies. I'll also send you 4 steak knives. Call now and you'll get my Perfection shears and a second Miracle Blade slicer absolutely free.
But wait, we'll send you a second complete set of knives free. Just imagine, that's now nearly $500 worth of knives for just one payment of only $39.95. And if you don't think the Miracle Blades are the best knives you've ever used, just return them for a full refund. So call now.
In travel news, travelers planning an overseas trip anytime soon better go to a post office post-haste if you're in need of a passport. Just when you thought you were safe from any more annoying airline fees added to the cost of a trip, it's now the government's turn to lighten your wallet. The fees to get a passport book or card are going up. Prospective travelers need to send in applications to avoid being charged the higher prices. In some cases, the hikes are up to 25%. According to the U.S. Department of State, the cost of an adult passport book will be $135. The current fee was $100. Renewing an expired passport will now cost you $110, up from $75. The fee for a minor passport book under age 16 is going up $20 from $85 to $105. The cost of wallet-sized passport cards, which can be used on land border crossings or seaports of entry from Canada, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Bermuda, is going from $45 to $55 for adults, from $35 to $40 for minors. It may not seem like a huge increase, but the fees can add up quickly for family whose children are traveling overseas for the first time. Applications are available at most U.S. post offices or online at the U.S. Department of State's website. Passports aren't the only government-issued documents getting price hikes next week. Visa fees are going up considerably for immigrant and non-immigrants, such as judicial services as processing paperwork and scheduling depositions. The increases are necessary to cover rising operating costs for consular services, according to the State Department. And by the way, frequent travelers whose passport pages are filled with stamps from foreign countries will be hit hard too. It will now cost $82 to mail in your passport and have new blank Visa pages added. The service used to be free.
In today's tech news, Apple appears to have shifted into full crisis mode over problems with the iPhone 4 antenna that reduces reception and drops calls when the device is held in a certain way. The company has apparently deleted threads from its message boards linking to a widely circulated consumer report of the phone in which the publication proposes fixing Apple's most expensive cell phone with a strip of duct tape over the antenna on the lower left corner of the device. Duct tape has a reputation of being able to solve nearly any problem, but one would expect that a brand new iPhone, which often comes with a 2-year contract from AT&T, to work right out of the box, no duct tape required, which is why Apple's apparent desire to paper over the last Consumer Reports article on its own website isn't too surprising. A reader on the unofficial Apple weblog first pointed out a number of threads mentioning the search term Consumer Reports had disappeared from discussions.apple.com, replaced by a note asking the user to log into the site, after which the relevant discussions still are not viewable. However, Microsoft's Bing search engine cached those pages before Apple removed them, so they're still visible for anyone interested.
In entertainment news, Despicable Me, a new 3D cartoon featuring the voice of Steve Carell as the bumbling supervillain, stole the top spot at the weekend box office in North America on Sunday, signaling the entry of a pair of new rivals for Pixar and DreamWorks Animation. The film earned an estimated $60.1 million across the United States and Canada during the 3 days beginning Friday, said Universal Pictures. Pre-opening forecasts were in the $30 million to $35 million range. The General Electric Company unit financed and distributed the low-cost $69 million project, which marks the debut release from the former 20th Century Fox animation chief Chris Meledandri's new company, Illumination Entertainment. As with cartoon powerhouses Pixar and DreamWorks Animation respective Toy Story and Shrek movies, a string of lucrative sequels is inevitable. They also earned $5 million after opening in 5 international markets. Russia led the way with a first-place $3.4 million start. Carell, star of The Office, supplies the voice of Gru, whose dastardly plot to steal the moon is thwarted by 3 orphan girls who see him as a father figure. Critics approved of the picture, noting its obvious debt to Pixar.
Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.